about how to construct a beauty kit. This is one of the hardest things to do and keep your budget under $100 because there's so many items that need to be in this kit for you to have just a very basic start in this industry. So I'm going to go through and show you some of the key things that we purchased today. One of the ones that we got is blush. Any kind of blush that you buy, just convenience stores come with multiple colors. So if you get one like that as opposed to just one, you can use it on a number of different shades of skin. Also, makeup pencils. We have lip color pencils and also eyeliner pencils. We need the black and the brown, which are, again, we're just starting off with a basic kit, so you don't have to have every color of the rainbow, but these are the two essential colors that you really need. Also, you need lip liners, and we have a light color, almost like a pink shade, and a plum, and those are very important as well. You can usually mix these up and get a nice range of colors in between. Again, this is a basic kit, so we don't have every color. Also, another really important tool to have is tweezers. You have your really inexpensive set of tweezers here. We need these tweezers because we're going to be using those to apply lashes. So you'll need those to be able to put these on. One other thing that you're going to need when you have these two together in your kit is the lash adhesive. Doesn't matter what brand you get, just make sure that you get something that is inexpensive at a convenience store. One of the most important things to remember is this is a beginner's kit. You don't need to spend a lot of money on these products, especially these lashes. You can start with a really generic brand of lashes because you're using this to just start and practice. And also down the line, when you start to make some profit, you can always go back and buy a little bit more expensive items, okay? Another item that you're gonna need to be able to create your lash look are little cuticle scissors. These scissors are really key because remember, we're gonna be able to use these to trim those lashes and make sure that they're the right size for the eye area. And then lastly, you're gonna have to brush those natural lashes and up with some mascara. You also use this for regular beauty makeup when you're not using lashes, so it's really essential. And this brand of mascara is really great, and it's also used on set. Even when you have high budgets, I still see this item used a whole lot. For a basic kit, you only need 3 basic colors to start with. These shades are all different. I usually try to get a really light shade, a medium shade, and a dark shade. It doesn't matter what you start off with. Again, you're just doing this to be able to practice and start with brand new clients. If you tend to work more on lighter fair skin, then I would go with lighter shades, but you don't have to get these shades. You can also get darker ones if your clients have a lot darker skin. So it's up to you, depends on your clientele. Another item that you want to have in your kit is primer. Primer is essential. You have to have this to put underneath the foundation. Your clients are going to be much more pleased if they have a really flawless looking face, and this is something that you have to have underneath to be able to achieve that look. One more item that you're going to have for the lips is lipstick, and also in addition to that, gloss. I always start off with 2 basic colors, a light and a dark. I tend to stay in a rosy area because those colors tend to work with a lot of different skin tones. So if you don't have a color that you want, you can always mix them together and add a little bit of pink to the red or a little bit of red to the pink to achieve a different look. And also the gloss is important because a lot of women want to have a more moisturized look. So this is really good to have a clear one because it'll work with either shade. Going back to the eyes, we already talked about the pencils. One of the important things to have is a sharpener in your kit. If you end up going on set and you break one of those pencils and you don't have a sharpener, you're gonna have a really hard time trying to make up for it. And if you do break it and you don't have that sharpener, you can always try to use a brush with some gel eyeliner. That's another really important thing to have in your kit. The gel eyeliner will require a fine tip brush. One of the most important things in your kit are the brushes. You have to have a nice variety. You don't need that many to start. One of the cool things about some brush companies, they sell dual-ended brushes. So one of the ones that you can use for blush and also for powdering the face and also contouring is just one single brush. You can use one end to powder and then you clean it off, and you can use the same side for blush, and then also you can use a smaller size for contouring. It also helps to have a couple of eyeliner brushes. I like to have 2 because it has 2 different thicknesses. You also need a concealer brush. It can be small, it can also be a little bit larger. I start off with the smaller one. They're less expensive, but of course if you have it in your budget, you can get a slightly larger one. And the last brush we have here is a lip brush. You have to have a lip brush because not all makeup can be applied with lipsticks, and you also get a lot more precision. One of the other items that you're going to need is some powder. This is a high definition powder. You don't have to get high definition, but this brand here, e.l.f., is really inexpensive. So we went ahead and purchased it because it'll also look good on camera. e.l.f. also has a couple different selections of eyeshadows. Both of these palettes are really great because you have all of your warm and cool browns, and you also have a nice variety of color on the other palette, and this is just virtually every color you need to get started with. I tend to use a lot of these browns for bridal parties and weddings, and the other one is just to play around, and a lot of evening looks can be achieved with this as well. There's 32 pieces in each one. This is a great deal because each of these is only $5, so quite a bargain. Makeup sponges are really important. They're just as important as the brushes because you have to have these in order to apply the foundation. Also, Q-tips are really important for cleaning and touching up any areas that are hard to get into, especially little tiny crevices around the eye, and to correct some of the eyeshadow. We also use these sometimes to blend out some of the makeup when you don't have enough of the right brushes. 99% alcohol is really important to have. It's great for sanitizing. Anytime you're going to be using anything that's in areas like the eye or around the mouth, you want to make sure that you're cleaning all of your tools with this because brush cleaner sometimes doesn't get all the germs out. So this is very, very key. Speaking of cleansing, we have here a small little bar of soap. I usually get these in the little travel section because they're only 99 cents. If you buy the regular size, it's a lot more expensive. And the reason I have this is it's much cheaper than brush cleaner. It works the same, and it actually pulls a lot of the pigment out, and it really thoroughly cleans the bristles. I've been using this for about 15 years, and I don't spend my money on something really expensive because 99 cents goes a long way. Hand sanitizer is also very important. Remember, we want to keep our hands clean and keep all germs off and not contaminate other products. So every time you feel like you need to run to the bathroom and wash your hands, use hand sanitizer instead. It's much quicker and saves you a lot of time. Also, we have some moisturizer. You can also get this in the little travel section of your store. It doesn't cost a whole lot of money if you buy the smaller sizes. This is only 99 cents, so it's important to have when you're moisturizing the face and prepping it before you apply the makeup. We also have paper towels here and baby wipes. Those are very important when you need to clean up any messes. Also for drying your hands off, and the baby wipes as well, and also works for correcting any small mistakes when you don't have any makeup remover. And also we have these two little bottles. These spray bottles are really important. You need to have one for the water and one for the alcohol. And of course the alcohol is going to be to sanitize items, and the water, you can use that to spray on your eyeshadows to darken some of those pigments. So we went over quite a few items in this kit. This beauty kit is enormous. It has a lot of little small things in it, but all I've spent for this in total was $98.50, and that's with tax. So you can be really frugal and still have a lot to work with. And remember, every time you have a job and you make some money, you put it back into your kit so that you can keep continuing to buy more important items and more high quality products as well. All right, we're gonna put together an effects kit. This has a lot of items in it, and again, this is just a beginner starter kit, so we don't have every single thing that you'd ever absolutely need, but just to get started in the industry, these are some of the essential items. First off, we're gonna start over here. We have some tissue. Tissue is really important. You have to have this when you're doing buildups. You're gonna mix this together with a little bit of latex to create buildups and scars and injuries. So it's really important. You're gonna use this and tear it apart, and also you can use it just for cleaning and sanitizing things with a little bit of alcohol. And also the paper towels, same thing for cleaning and sanitizing with a little bit of alcohol. Since we're on the subject of cleaning, I have latex gloves here because a lot of materials that you use in the industry are chemicals. So if you're gonna be using 99% alcohol and you don't wanna dry out your hands too much, you can always put on some latex gloves for that. Also, when you're working with blood and you don't wanna get it on yourself, you can also use the gloves for that. After a while, you just stop using the gloves because you realize that you're gonna get dirty anyway. So it's just an optional thing in your kit. Brushes are really important, and you have to have these in your kit. A chip brush is really great for applying blood. I use this when I'm covering larger areas. Also, you can cut it down really, really short when you want to flick blood onto somebody's face or their body. So you basically chop it all the way down so that you barely have any bristles left. And then you also need something for powdering and contouring. And we really have to have some synthetic brushes. And the reason why we have synthetic brushes is we're using a lot of grease paints, and we're also using a lot of blood and other chemicals, and the synthetic fibers stay well together. They're very durable, and it also is just great for anything that's very sticky. They're easier to clean. There's two kinds of sponges to have in your kit when you want to have a beginning starter kit. These are very inexpensive, just regular makeup sponges. I use these and I pluck out the tops to create a patterned effect, and also just to apply an even coverage of an opaque makeup. We also have stipple sponges. These are very important in an effects kit because they have a really rough texture to them. I usually cut them up into small cubes, and you can use these for scrapes and creating bruises and other various skin textures that you need in your effects makeup. You also want to have cotton balls in your kit and Q-tips. You really need both of these. The Q-tips are not only used for cleaning and making any kind of corrections on any mistakes you've made, but they're really great for when you're applying adhesive. You do not want to apply adhesive with your fingers because obviously your fingers are going to get really tacky and it's going to take forever to clean them off and move on to the next application. And the cotton balls are used for a variety of things. Sometimes we use them for cleaning, but also I use them for creating buildups. You can stretch them out and pull them out and use this in combination with your latex to create buildups, scars. You also can create burns as well. So you use these for a number of different things. We also want to make sure you have some paper towels in your kit and baby wipes because effects makeup gets quite messy, so you definitely have to have these for cleaning up, but the paper towels are also used again for buildups. You also can make scars and lacerations with this and you want to mix this with some of the latex to be able to create those injuries. The baby wipes again are key for cleaning. Also, you want to have little cups. These cups are what you're going to use to put in your blood, your latex, and alcohol as well. You use these a lot, so you need the disposable kind. And it's really good to have the disposable ones because they're way cheaper than buying the metal ones or any of the plastic cups. Also, you might want to use this for blood. We have a small little container of scab blood. You can also dilute this with a little bit of water to make runnier blood. So you don't have to buy a whole separate container of the runny blood. Another item that you want to have in your kit is a palette knife. You want to make sure you have the palette knife so you can take your product and scrape it out of the container and put it on a palette or a piece of wax paper so that you're not cross-contaminating anything. You can use this for blending and making fine little edges when you're doing latex buildups. You can also use it for gelatin. It's just one of those tools that's just as important as having brushes. Glue sticks are something that you can have in your kit. It's not essential, but a lot of people wonder why I have this. It's a really inexpensive way of covering eyebrows. This way, when you're gonna be doing any kind of prosthetics and you're gonna be applying glue over the eye, as long as you have the glue stick down and it's dry, the other types of adhesive won't be pulling and ripping your eyebrows out. So this is a really affordable way of getting a really great effect. Next, we're gonna talk about the Listerine. Any kind of mouthwash is great to have in your kit for a couple reasons. One, you're going to be right up in somebody's face, so you want to make sure you have fresh breath. The second thing I use it for is to mix with this food coloring. If you mix all of these colors equally, the food coloring can be used to stain the mouth, but it has a really awkward flavor, so I always put a little bit of Listerine in it so that it kind of doesn't taste so bad. One of the most affordable adhesive to have in your kit is spirit gum. Spirit gum is used for everything from applying appliances, prosthetics, facial hair, and if you're going to have this, you have to have the remover. Make sure you have the remover because if you don't have a remover, you're going to have an upset client that's going to go home with something that they definitely want off, and it also can be very irritating if you're pulling it off. It's very, very important that when you start doing effects that you make sure that you understand anything that has an adhesive quality to it has to have a matching remover. Both of these items can be found at Cinema Secrets or at Nigel's. Again, those stores are out here in California. If you don't have access to those stores, you can go online, and if you have a beauty supply store in your town, you can also go there and check it out and see if they have them there. These are also found during Halloween time at any Halloween store usually. Another item that's important to have in your kit is stage blood. This is something that you're going to use to distress clothing. Sometimes I put it inside of a little bottle, add a little bit of water to make it a little bit more diluted so that it goes a long way and you have a lot more of it. If you're going to be putting this in clothing, make sure you tell somebody that it doesn't always come out so that they know if they have an article of clothing that's really expensive that you don't want to damage it. Toothpicks are another item that I really like to have in my kit. I use this for sometimes applying blood to really small areas. I also use it when I'm trying to open up little areas of latex that have dried to poke holes in those areas as well. It's just used for a variety of things, so it's really important to have in your kit. This is a bentonite bruise wheel. It has a lot of different colors that can be used for different things. You can not only use it for our bruise wheels, but it has some colors in here like for monsters. So you can use the grays and this muted green color to create zombies and to create decaying flesh. So it's really good to start off with just this color as a basic part of your kit. It's called the monster wheel. So we covered a lot of items for the effects kit, and one of the things that I was thinking about when I was putting this together is I didn't even have maybe half of these products in my kit when I got started. So you don't absolutely have to have everything. You can start off with very little. And believe it or not, we put all of this together for only $86.22. That's a great deal. All right, today we're going to learn how to construct a face painting kit for under $100. This is one of the most profitable markets to get into with any kind of makeup career. It's really inexpensive to put a starter kit together. One of the first things that I'm going to pick up that is essential for the kit is your colors, the paints that you're going to be using. We purchased these at Cinema Secrets. It's a store out here in California. Cinema Secrets has a really great variety of paints, and the face painting kit that they provide is what's called an appetizer palette. Wolf Effects creates this makeup, and I really love going to Cinema to pick that up because they always have every color I need in stock. So this is one of the items that you need for your face painting. The next thing that you're going to need is baby wipes. You especially need these in your kit because you're going to need to clean your hands, and sometimes you make mistakes and you want to wipe off the kids' faces as well. Also, you're going to need sponges. These are artist sponges that you get at any art supply store. They're really inexpensive as well. You're going to need a cup for water. You can buy a cup, but we just got a plastic cup out of a convenience store. I like to have something that's a little bit more durable, but we just included this one since it's no cost to you. But of course, if you want something a little cuter, you can buy yourself a little personalized cup or something like that. The next thing you're going to need is paper towels. These are really important because you need to have these to clean your brushes off and also to dry your hands. A mirror is optional. You don't absolutely have to have it, but it's really great to have because the kids always want to see what they look like after you're done doing the makeup on them. These are makeup brushes that you get, and they're actually purchased at an art supply store. Again, it's a lot less expensive if you don't go to a makeup supply store to buy face painting brushes. You can start off with your beginner's kit by just getting some at an art supply shop. So these are fairly inexpensive for about 10 of them. Glitter is not essential, but it's really helpful if you have this in your kit, especially when you're working on girls. They always love to have a little accent on their face paint, so we start with some really basic colors. Again, you can always build and add a lot more to your kit, but this is just for a beginner's kit when you're starting off. You just want to have 3 very basic colors, and you can add this to virtually any design that you make. So all of the items that you see here were actually constructed by me, and it all cost under $100. The total price of all of these items is only $50.01. As a makeup artist, you want to have some really great tools in your kit, and one of the most important things to have is a makeup station. This is something that you want to splurge on. It's an essential part to your career, especially if you travel. Lots of times I'm on set and I have an area where I don't have a table, I don't have enough space to do something, so something like this would really come in handy. This is Nigel's MSC 800 table. Nigel's is one of my favorite stores to go to get all my supplies for effects and beauty. It's out here in California. You can order this online as well. Again, this is something that is going to be really fun for you to have because it's very convenient when you don't have something set up for you on set. One of the cool features that this table has is a handle that extends up. It also has wheels at the bottom, so you can tilt it on its side and carry it with you wherever you go. You can see 2 little doors here. We're going to go ahead and tilt this back and flip it on its back so that we can open up the legs. Okay. Once you have the table on its back, you want to open up these latches on either side and flip the doors open. Inside, you'll find the legs, so you just want to bring those out on each side. You want to make sure you open up the locks on all of the legs. Okay, once you have all your locks open up, you can go ahead and extend the legs to whatever height you need and lock those legs before they start to slide down. once you have all of your legs up and you've measured them equally on each side, you can go ahead and flip the table over. All right, we have our table flipped over now, so we're going to open it up. And before we do that, make sure that you unlock the latches in the very front. And as you can see, there's a mirror inside. And first we're going to go into this little center area here that comes out. It has a little latch, so you can lock it when you're not using it. We're going to go ahead and unlock that and open up these glass plate doors. These are little compartments where you can add your makeup. It's really great because you'll be able to see on the very top layer what you have inside the makeup kit already. We're going to go ahead and pull those out so that you can see that underneath you can place a lot more materials. It has lots of space underneath as well, and it closes up very easily. One of the coolest features about this table is it has an LED mirror. I'm going to go ahead and plug that in so you can take a look. There's a little spot right here at the bottom where you just tap. With one touch, it brings the lights on, and if you hold it down gently, you can actually dim the lights. This table is really futuristic. It has some connections here that you can use when you have some time to play around. There's a little digital audio player. You can plug in any kind of music there, and also a USB port. So if you need to charge any phones or anything like that, it's really convenient, especially on long days on set. Another feature the table has is speakers on either side of the mirror. You can see those right here. And also a little handy remote control when you need to walk away. This is one of the greatest things I think that I could have for my career, and it's really handy. It's my favorite kit, and I hope you guys enjoyed learning about it.